A confluence of contributing factors this week exhibit what an ongoing joke our gold price discovery markets continue to be. It's been about 275 days since the Trump administration won their election. Even before their win, Trump spoke publicly about his intentions to use import tariffs to raise revenues, and ongoing confusion has hardly ceased ever since. Now, cut to this week in the gold market, for instance. What drove the COMEX front-month gold futures contract price to its now highest recorded price on record of $3,533 an ounce intraday? Well, yesterday I woke to briefly stare at this snapshot, wondering what in the blazes is being negotiated with the Swiss. So later in the day, yesterday, Thursday, August 7th, Leslie Hook, a reporter from London's Financial Times, reported on a so-called ruling letter dated from July 31st, 2025, in which a U.S. Customs Border Patrol agent named James Forcan made what appears to have been an arbitrary misinterpretation of what tariff of any U.S. imported 1 kilo or 100-ounce Swiss-made Pamp Swiss Gold Bullion bar might receive. So a guy who spends his day job hours often slapping tariffs and taxes on tennis shoes backlinked in his letter landing pages, which inferred that 1 kilo and 100-ounce gold bars imported from Switzerland into the USA would receive a spot plus 39% tariff. Never mind that doing something like that would basically cut the USA off from more than half of the world's newly refined gold bullion bar supply if put into effect. It didn't matter how silly the story was, because late yesterday, the gold futures price blasted upwards, nearly $100 higher than London gold-derived spot. All on the misjudgment that marking up domestic gold bullion underlying the overly levered, fractionally reserved COMEX gold future system, this all made common sense, I guess. So to review, we had a trifecta of three major inputs that helped lead to a new world record gold futures price this week in the United States. It occurred yesterday, late Thursday, Eastern U.S. time. We have, number one, Trump's tariff confusion ongoing. Number two, U.S. Customs Jake Forcan's July 31st, 2025 Swiss Gold Bar tariff misruling letter, which was refuted by the White House early this afternoon, Friday, August 8th, 2025. And of course, the Financial Times report yesterday that set much of this in motion as virtually every financial news media parakeeted the story as if it were fact.
US gold futures climbed to a record high on Friday, after reports the country has imposed higher tariffs on imports of 1 kilo bars. Prices rose by 1.4% after hitting an all-time high of over $3,500. Meanwhile, spot gold held steady for a second straight weekly gain, up about 1%. The price spread between New York futures and spot prices also widened by more than $100. The price change comes after the Financial Times reported the new tariffs, citing a letter from US Customs and Border Protection. The letter, dated July 31st, said 1 kilo and 100-ounce gold bars should be classified under a customs code subject to higher tariffs. And the move could impact Switzerland, the world's largest gold refining hub. On Thursday, President Donald Trump's higher tariffs on imports from dozens of countries kicked in, leaving major trading partners such as Switzerland, Brazil, and India hurriedly searching for a better deal. Gold is often used as a safe store of value during times of political and financial uncertainty.
Perhaps now you can see how fast and easy these ridiculous gold and precious metals price discovery markets can be manipulated, up and or down in the short term. I mean, imagine if you will. You could have found that Swiss Gold Tariff misruling on the U.S. Customs and Border Patrol website weeks ago. Then you could have fed it to the FT reporter and gone levered long COMEX gold futures, likely knowing when the FT would publish the article. Oh yeah, today the FT reported on the White House's refuting of the story and saying that the White House would be clarifying the misinformation shortly. So yeah, that was this week in our clownish price discovery markets. FT Weekend is running the story again, front and center, seemingly enjoying the gold market chaos they helped agitate. Now think about it again. Why would we shoot ourselves in the foot and cut off our nose to spite our face so we could ensure less gold bullion import access? Now pretend we tossed Swiss gold refiners to the curb for just a second. What would we be left with? How about a slew of mini gold refineries in the BRICS nations? Or somewhere up in the landlocked Silk Road where our U.S. military ships have next to no say in many matters? We have billionaires literally, explicitly, publicly stating that we are likely heading back to some sort of gold monetary lacing in our future.
It used to be the case that the U.S. dollar was backed by gold. And the U.S. government said, if you don't like these pieces of paper, we'll give you gold. And ultimately, we ended that. We're never going to go back to that, presumably, right?
Probably, presumably, that's right. But not if you watch these these cycles, that because you have the devaluation, then people don't have confidence in the fiat system over a period of time. And through history, they've at that point, the way that works is you print all this money, then you pay the debt with the cheap money, but nobody wants to hold it, so then they go back and link it again. It is conceivable that you can see a re-linking of gold to money, but that's way in the future.
Right.
And if you are the eventual gold bullion-starved USA, with ballooning record debt levels and unfunded liability piles galore, you're going to want to keep London, Switzerland, Australia, and Japan on your side. And you might also want to get busier in Mexico and South America, because that's where most of the world's remaining proven silver reserves remain. This being the 5th straight year of silver deficits, with ongoing demand outstripping supply to the tune of world industrial silver demand eating about 81% of the entire silver mining output worldwide. No amounts of market misinformation is likely to slow bullion demand down for long. Our alleged adversaries are stocking up on gold bullion and cranking out solar panel capacity that dwarfs ours. They are also apparently now each year buying more in excess platinum bullion than the entire NYMEX reports to have on its platinum shelves currently. So here we are internally mining fractions of the minerals and metals that we currently consume on an annual basis. But hey, at least we're tariffing tennis shoes, right? We'll be right back. Hello, this is James Anderson on behalf of SDBullion. Smash the like button if you enjoy these bullion market updates. And be sure to visit sdbullion.com/sweepstakes to enter our free 500-ounce silver coin giveaway.
The worst day on Wall Street since the crash of 1987.
We're now down 43%.
This could be the most serious recession in decades.
Protect your retirement with gold and silver IRAs. Learn more at sdbullion.com/IRA.
Both silver and gold prices rose this week. The spot silver price closed at $38.37 an ounce bid, and the spot gold price, mostly ignoring the Swiss Gold Tariff misinformation yesterday, it simply finished the week just under $3,400 an ounce. The spot gold silver ratio ended the week at 88. The hard to currently afford for young normies U.S. housing market is not looking very stout this summer. The number of U.S. house sellers versus active buyers using Redfin data, which captures around 80% of all data, suggests houses are going to be cheaper in bullion terms at the very least to come. The last time U.S. houses got really cheap in bullion terms was the later 1970s, and that was around the same time that 4 out of 10 adults were neither working or looking for work, as apparently we are again at those levels now in 2025. Constitutional 90% silver quarter melt values currently affords about 2 gallons of gasoline in the USA. They bought you more than 5 gallons of gasoline in the first half of 1980 during a supposed famous oil crisis. Back in 1980, gasoline averaged about $1.25 a gallon. We have US 90% silver coins at spot this week on sale at SDBullion.com. As well, we have nice deals on American Silver Eagle coins, fractional gold, and other precious metals products. Get yours while bullion market premiums remain thin. Now finally, to close, about 3 weeks ago, I drove out to SDBullion headquarters to meet up with company founder Tyler Wall. We had an over 1 hour conversation, beginning with first half, looking back and present day assessments. And then on the latter half of the video, we're going to dig into data and long-term price charts in the pursuit of preparing ourselves mentally, for where this building worldwide bullion bull market is likely to go. I'm going to leave a link to our over 1 hour conversation below. You're going to want to check that deep dive out. Do it now if you got the time. That will be all for this week's SDBullion market update. And as always, to you out there, take great care of yourselves and those you love. If you enjoyed this video, hit the like button and share it with those you love. Subscribe to our channel and hit that alert button so you know when we publish new bullion market updates.